Hello, everybody. It is time once again for your weekly flags recap. Alright, so opening disclaimers. Please, everybody, if you can think of another sentence or a different way of saying these things that I should say every week, I'm working on this. This is going to be a spiel. So we'll start off by saying not everything in this recap is a false flag. False in false flag is a subjective thing where many times the person who gets flagged, they don't feel like it was a legitimate flag, but the person who did the flagging, they think it was. So, yes. When I say false flagging, we don't like it. We don't. But that doesn't mean that everything in this recap is going to be about false flagging. Also, if you hear somebody's name mentioned in this, it does not mean that I am for or against them, that I'm endorsing them, or I am judging them, unless you hear me say those words like, this person sucks, or this person is awesome. Unless I expressly say that, I am not endorsing anyone who ends up on this list just because they got flagged. It doesn't take a lot to get flagged. Okay, so I need to condense all that into something that's a little bit more clear and concise. And it'll boil down, and then it'll all go smooth like the rest of this will. So, as far as what I've been doing this week that has had to do with researching censorship, I watched a documentary called Shut Up and Sing. It was on the Dixie Chicks, and I really liked it, and I do recommend it to everyone. I can't find any place where you can watch it for free, legally, but if you have Netflix, you can order the DVD discs. It's not even on the instant queue. And so I watched it, and it was awesome. Especially 10 years removed from that incident where Natalie Maines said she was ashamed that the president was from Texas. Because when she said that, his approval rating was like sky high, and now that it's like really low, we've got a different perspective to look at that statement from, and we can see, maybe she had a point, Now, it's not often that I listen to rock stars. I mean, like, is there anything that they don't know, right? But in this instance, I think what happened to them since was very wrong. And I was just talking with Lucky Dog 1351 today, because we were working on a project where we had a country radio station playing probably for about 4 days worth of radio station playing, and not once did the Dixie Chicks come up on that radio station, and it's been 10 years that they pretty much had a boycott put on them by like every country music station. That's harsh for just speaking their minds once, and then, years on down the road, we figure out, holy crap, they might have had a point. War sucks. Also, in the whole talking about censorship and flagging and whatnot. There was a little bit more with the whole Brett Keane, HappyCabbie, me, Captain Obvious 81 talks, and I'm sure you can find it out there, probably in a Captain Obvious hangout or so. But I was a little off put by HappyCabbie saying that he considered things over. It was just weird, because he says so. It's over because you don't have to consult with me. But somebody else sent me something, and I believe it was Bamboo 4 Tamashigiri. He sent me a video of HappyCabbies on the Facepalm Response channel, and the reason why I think Bamboo 4 Tamashigiri sent me this was so that I would know the quote-unquote history of Brett Keane, and then I wouldn't want to associate with him. But what the video actually did for me, upon watching this video, and it's called The Straight Dope on Brett Keane. It's actually a compilation. What it did for me was it showed me that HappyCabbie, at some level, does understand what I'm doing with this video series. Because HappyCabbie collected a bunch of videos by the YouTube user Straight Dope that were all about Brett Keane, right? And he made a compilation and put them on his channel. Why did he do it? Because those videos were flagged down. He did it in the name of free speech, right? So then, a couple of years later, HappyCabbie becomes friends with Brett Keane. And everything in those videos that Straight Dope made is pretty much every accusation that's ever been leveled against Brett Keane, all in one video, all in one compilation. Did HappyCabbie take that video down just because he became Brett Keane's friend? No! 2 weeks ago or so, Brett Keane made a video addressing all of those accusations, and HappyCabbie put an annotation in his video saying, this is Brett Keane's response. But those original accusations are still there. So I know at some level, HappyCabbie has to understand that when I say that there was flagging happening, and I talk a little bit about the context, that I'm not endorsing anything that happened, and I'm not endorsing the positions of the people. I'm just reporting it, putting it out there, and trying to make a statement saying free speech should be a little bit more sacred to you people. So, that's that. I'll leave a link to HappyCabbie's video, and from that, just to be fair, on his video there's an annotation to Brett Keane's video, so if you watch one, watch the other, because you'll get both sides, and, there's that. So, meta-analysis, finally. We're this far into the video, and I'm going to talk about the flags for the week. Meta-analysis, this was a very slow week for flags. The flag of the week was actually something that doesn't really fit in any category that we've become accustomed to. It was from a group of people calling themselves the Janoskians, and it was a video called Public Wanking, and it's been flagged down on multiple channels, and people keep mirroring it, and to me, it's kind of reminiscent of Jackass. Like, it's a low quality, low budget version of a Jackass prank. But I'm not going to give you a link to it. You can find plenty of mirrors out there. If I gave you a link, it'd probably be just to something that's dead by the time you watch this video. But I'll give you two responses to it, and that's from Mr. Epsion and some other guy. And let's talk about the subject of faux outrage. Like, just trying to pretend that you are angry at something just to make a video, just to whore for the views. And I'm a view whore sometimes too, but bring it. If you're going to try to be emotional, be emotional. Like, think about your grandma dead at your feet or something. Get some emotion, because, damn, there's something paralyzed about Mr. Epsion's face, where he just does not come across as genuine at all. Period. On to the great debate community. Making his points to me once again is HappyCabbie, who sent me a link to a scam artist that he flagged. And he said that this person should be taken down within 10 minutes, but it's been a couple hours, and as of me filming this, it's still up. So when I say that he sent me this thing to be flagged, it is a scam. I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say this is something we can all universally condemn. This person is asking for people to give him access to their AdSense. If it were not a scam, he would never be asking for those accesses. It's one of those things, like, Google will never ask you for your password to anything. Any reputable company will not ask you for your password to AdSense. This is a scam. So yeah, HappyCabbie did flag that, and maybe you guys want to join him in reporting this person as a scam. But please do not follow his instructions of giving him your passwords. Not that I think any of you would, but we're making disclaimers as idiot-proof as possible now. Mr. Jack Sparrow reported to me that he was flagged on last week's recap. And the report didn't get to me in time, and so he commented on my video. But since then, another channel called Eduard Khil, which happens to be the name of the guy who sang the song, so it's probably not the real Eduard Khil. He reported to me that Mr. Jack Sparrow was flagged for a second video. And I don't think that Jack Sparrow was the one who made the video that I'm thinking about, but there was a response to HappyCabbie's video, Does She Look Like a Battered Wife to You? That I kind of took to heart, because I saw where this guy was coming from, where if somebody was a battered wife, they probably wouldn't tell you, up front in a YouTube video, or in a video chat for a YouTube video. It's we know that battered women would hide that stuff, and very well. But that being said, I haven't seen evidence that any battering has happened to the people that they were talking about. But other people have tried to construct some stuff that they are diagnosing over the internet. And it's drama. Drama. So, there's a link to telly.com, which is a new video site to me. And apparently you can put your flagged videos over there, and they're a little bit harder to flag. Yay. So, links to all that stuff. The commentary community was completely silent for flags this week. Go commentary community. The racial commentary community had one flag. It was Extra 100, and the problem with it was he was flagged for nudity and sexual content and had no recourse, could not you can't challenge that kind of a flag. And it was just basically said you had nudity sexual content. Well, he didn't, and YouTube didn't review the flag. I mean, it's like there's no content like that at all in the original video. So sorry, man. It happens. I've known people that, had about a 10% success rate in appealing false flags. So, system needs to change. The RadfeMRA community was silent this week, so they get thumbs up as well. Gaming community had Sonic Speed 1600, who got a DMCA for some game footage. And the community that had the most flagging going on in it, I guess, is the wrestling commentary community, pro wrestling community. But it's a very slow week. They didn't have to do much to win. TheFinalTapout was flagged for sharing links to full wrestling videos. So this is one of those things where, again, he did deserve the flag that he got. He was stealing other people's content. This was not about free speech. This was about putting up entire episodes of WWE Raw and then giving people a link to it and using YouTube to do that. And I'd say the biggest drama would be if you can follow Wrestling Jesus 000, and that's only one of his channels. They're all like Wrestling Jesus and then a number right now, but he got false flagged, and Comedian Central 100 is very glad that he did, and there's a couple videos I'm going to leave you that are drama-laden there. In the interesting category, I'm going to point you guys to this documentary that was flagged off of YouTube, and it's all about homelessness, and it's called Blame Reagan, and you're just going to have to use Google and find other places to watch it. I don't have a link to a mirror for you guys, but Blame Reagan was removed from YouTube because apparently homelessness is now profane. Haley Page Taylor was false flagged, and this is the inappropriate category. She was flagged for, sexual content, nudity, went in a video where there was none. But she's really cute, so that's probably why they chose that flag. But she has a very good explanation video, and she goes into all of her feelings about, when she was flagged, and, the frustration and getting over it and all that. It was a good video. Herdy's Media was flagged for smoking a hookah. Cease Marie was flagged for a variation on the Ninja Escape video where she tied herself up and then escaped from it. But what's really interesting about this is that it was a challenge video. And we all know that the foot fetish flagger really loves challenge videos. And he might have, decided to change it up a little bit and he went with a different fetish this time. Teen Cigar Smoker was flagged, and guess why? Even funnier than that, a different channel with a different person on it, called The Teenage Smoker, gave him a shout out. So there's a ring of underage smokers out there on YouTube. Yay. In the flag watch for this week, I'm going to say Cult of Dusty's I Love Monsanto video. It's just going to rile enough people that I think that he's right there on the edge. And I think that he's right where he needs to be. Because there is this sort of very prevalent feeling in the great debate community that if you are an atheist, you should be a liberal Democrat, and you should not question the liberal talking points. And one of these that a lot of atheist liberals have is GMOs. They're anti-GMO thinkers. They've watched all the documentaries about it, and they haven't questioned, but they don't want to. You know, that's one of those places where they've compartmentalized off that thought for a couple of different liberal issues. Another one of those issues, by the way, being 9/11 trutherism, connecting it to Bush. Another one would be anti-vaxxers. There are a lot of atheist anti-vaxxers out there. But anyway, Cult of Dusty pretty much tore up a whole bunch of myths that a lot of liberal atheists might believe, and he probably is risking losing a whole bunch of subscribers for one, but flagging as well. Also, the public wanking video that I mentioned earlier by the Janoskians, anyone who mirrors this is at risk for flagging. I don't even think I should have to say that, but yeah. And the last one, I came across a video, didn't have a lot of views on it. It was We Are the Anti-Bananas was the channel, and it only had one video on it, and you know why people do that. It's a sock account, probably. And the video is Onision reaping what you sow, and probably going to get flagged. Then I'm going to leave you with all the rest, and then a couple links to some anti-censorship websites. And I didn't get a report from Helen 906 this week. Maybe because my feelings about Helen 906 reports had to be stated because people had a problem with the context being intact for the Helen 906 report. So maybe there'll be another one next week. You know, maybe not. But this week I didn't get one. The only report I got from anyone was HappyCabbie tattling on himself for flagging something that, you know, all of you can check it out and see. Nobody's going to be butthurt about the loss of a scam on AdSense. So that was the recap. Please, if you can, refrain from flagging things that are critical of you, critical of things that you like. Just videos that piss you off in general. Instead, make a YouTube video, yell at them, comment. You know, leave mean comments. That's fine. Just let's save the flags for the things that really, really need to be flagged. That's all I got to say for this week. Laters.